So recently, I think a couple of days back, we had someone called Riddhiraj who got a score of 770. So just wanted to talk. He will be joining us in some time. It's 50-46. You can just see verbal score of 46 is obtained by 0.2% people in the world. Hey, hi Riddhiraj. Hi.
Hello,
Superb to
sir. How
see
are you?
you. And I'm good. I'm good. First time we're interacting.
Yeah,
How does
right.
it feel, first of all, to get a 770 score and verbal 46, that too? More than the 99th percentile, to be honest, because 45 itself is 99. So just tell me what the feeling was when you got it.
Yeah, quite honestly, it feels quite great. Like it was my target score. I think like that's what the course did. It kind of framed my perspective for my target score to be a 760 or 770. And I had given it the first time I'd given it, I'd got a 760, but unfortunately, like my score got cancelled by GMAT. So that
So it
was a
was an
little bit
online attempt?
disheartening.
Online?
Sorry?
Was that an online attempt? I mean,
Yeah,
from home?
yeah, that
Yeah.
was an online attempt.
The second one also is online, as I say, but the GMAT, sometimes, if you go for the online attempt, for some reason or the other, they find it a violation or something and they cancel the score. So we've seen this in a couple of scenarios as well. But
Yeah.
really bold and outrageously bold of you to write this online again, because
No,
online was cancelled.
actually, I had booked a test center exam for the next time, and I
Mhm.
don't know. Unfortunately, and for funnily enough, when I went for the test center exam again, there was a technical error. So
So you took your chances because the deadline was approaching for deferred admissions, I guess.
right, yeah, and I had a free ticket from them, a free voucher to do an online exam again. So I was like, might as well give it a shot. If like, what's the most they can happen? They can cancel it again. I was
So what
like,
was the difference between the 2 days, the two test days, like 760 and 770? Was it like a 16-day gap sort of a thing, or was it immediate? Like for you?
No, there was a more than a 16-day gap. There had to be a 16-day gap. And like
There
uh,
had to be, right,
yeah.
obviously. So please tell me your prep and which section did you struggle with the most? What material did you follow? What mocks you wrote? And finally, was the exam different from what you're prepared? I mean, the entire questionnaire that I generally have for everyone. Just let me know, please.
Right, right. So I mean, I think like what I did was basically simply just follow the process. I
Right.
followed, I showed trust in the process, and I just followed the study plan as it was regularly
Mm-hmm.
along with the pre-work and the post-work. So like that was my process generally. Like I just followed the course and all the videos as they were. Once I was done with the course and I was beginning with the practice part, that is when I had like, by that time I had figured out what my strengths and what my weaknesses were. So RC and CR, I was naturally more able to get
Yeah,
right
because
answers
of
to
your
them.
background as well. You must be reading tons of stuff every day and reasoning every single day. So I think CR must be the most natural section, I'm guessing, and RC as well for you.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
from the background, I guess.
Yeah, probably like CR and RC kind of came naturally to me, but still like there was a I would say there was a 75% to 80% accuracy, which with Octave in RC, I think like just shot down to 95, shot up to 95%, because like I think it was a foolproof method. Once I started
Right.
doing it, I was able to just like get to the right answers almost all the time. So with for RC and for CR as well, I think like with how you prepare the reasoning prompts and questions that you give for like evaluate and weakness
Mm-hmm.
strength questions, I think with that CR and RC were pretty much, I was pretty much there with them. But quant, I was facing some problem because I had been out of touch with math for like five years
Mm-hmm.
now.
Right.
And SC again, although I thought intuitively, I thought that, oh, I'd be able to get it. But then, like, I think intuition doesn't really work in SC, in
Right.
GMAT.
Absolutely. Right.
So I think these were both the areas where I think the course material really helped me, because
Okay.
for
Mm-hmm.
SC, I think yeah, as I was saying, that I was coming from this idea and I was using my intuition to solve questions initially, but then that whole perspective was changed when I did the course and understood that whole thing that you taught how to break down a sentence.
Right, 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 right.
I think that really changed my perspective towards SC questions. So like now whenever I look at I was looking at sentences in SC questions, I was trying to break them down and then figure out the misplaced modifiers and know where where
Okay.
that is required, where um,
Right, right.
so I think with that perspective changing, I think my approach to SC got a lot better, my accuracy got a lot better. I was facing some problems with the timing, but then with practice, that just evolved. And
Mm-hmm.
as far as quant goes, I think with quant again, I think the course material really helped get me in touch back with my with whatever math I had learned back in high school. But I think the basics videos also really helped me. Like, I think the basics videos really helped me first revise the very fundamental concepts well first. So then when I moved to practice, it just came more naturally.
So what part of the practice material could you skip because you had obtained the accuracy, and what did you definitely do afterwards? After doing the concept part completely, what
Right.
stuff did you not have to do? Let me know, please.
Right. Uh, so RC and CR, although I practiced, I did not practice everything. Like I
Mhm.
used to do the mixed bag questions in CR
Right,
just from time to
right.
time, just so that I revised my concepts. With I focused a bit more on the inference questions because like inference can get a little tricky. So
Mhm.
that part I focused more. The rest of the part I wasn't focusing like completely 100%. As far as SC and quant goes, like I did everything. I did everything. Like the in quant, maybe except for the DS 436, doing all the questions in that, I did the whole 700 to 800 sheet. I think
That
that
must have genuinely given you the confidence that, yeah, now I really feel I can master this, because initially it would have been difficult also to solve each of those questions. They are pretty challenging, but I guess later you would have gained the confidence that
yeah,
in
right.
math.
For sure, for sure. That 700 to 800 sheet, I think, like prepares you extremely well for whatever, for a 750, 760 plus score. I think that sheet is the resource that like people need.
Also, tell us about the exam, exact experience. I mean, what was your first section, second section, etc. And another thing, was there anything unusual? Plus, your pacing, your stamina, was there anything off on that day? Anxiety? I mean, these are common issues that are faced. So let me just understand. You may give me about the 770 attempt, and you may tell
Right.
me about the previous attempt as well if you want to. But I would like to know the attempt that we are discussing more.
Right. Right, for sure. So I think so. The strategy that I followed was doing the verbal section first and then the quant section. And I think I figured that out during the mocks that I was giving. I was giving the official MBA.com mocks, and I just experimented with that and saw what suited me best, and that is the strategy that I followed. And I think this is I think the major difference between my 760 attempt and my 770 attempt was it was my quant score firstly. Like I'd got a 49 in quant when I got the 760. This time I got a 50 in quant. And verbal also I improved by a point. I think like the major difference was that there was a major issue, a big mistake that I was making with my timing strategy. And I think it is the worst thing that you can do in GMAT is to get stuck on a question and be like, I won't move ahead until I solve this. I think that is not a good approach at all.
Which
Even
section
for
did this happen? In which section did this happen? Quant to verbal, in which you
I
were stuck on a
yeah, I think I tended to do this more in the quant section, not a lot in the verbal section, but in the quant section, I used to do this throughout my practice as well. And I had told myself that this is something that I cannot do on the test day. During my 760 attempt, I think a little bit of it happened in the quant section, which pulled my score down. I missed a few questions towards the end. But in my last attempt, there was an instance where I was taking more than three minutes in one question, but like I just took a guess and went past it. Uh, I think you can't get stuck on a question, in my
That's
opinion.
really nice to know. And in terms of the content of the test, either attempt, was there anything unusual that you, I mean, one-off question, you may never be able to solve that separate, but
Right.
in general, did you feel that there was something too unusual compared to what you had studied before?
Yeah, no, not at all. I think all the questions that I came across, given the practice that the material that I was dealing with from top had given me, I think like all the questions I could do them. All the questions that I saw, nothing was unusual. And after a point of time, I think like actually in the quant section with the 700 to 800 sheet, it kind of comes, the answers in DS can also come intuitively to you. For instance, like when we
Absolutely.
when we did weighted average questions, just to know
Right,
that, oh, to find out the ratio, knowing the difference between the means is enough. Yeah, so I could
right,
look
right.
at a question because of that practice and
Hmm.
those conceptual clarity that I had, and I could look at a question, I could straight away get to the answer. So everything was extremely helpful. Nothing was out of the ordinary, and even the question that I skipped, like it was a question that I could do, but I needed a little bit of more time in that. That's it.
Right.
So
Anything on the,
everything,
yeah, sure, sure, sure. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah,
Everything
no.
was
So
usually familiar.
e- everything was usual everywhere. Yes.
All right. Anything on the anxiety or concentration bit that you faced at all? I'm asking because this is another issue some people may face. So was there anything like that, or you were fine in either attempt?
Yeah, no, I think I was anxious, definitely. There was a little bit of anxiety. But I think for that, what I did was I just kept myself cool, like on before the exam day and one day before as well. I didn't take too much pressure and didn't do like intense 16 hours of practicing or anything like that.
Right.
I just
Yeah. So
I
that's
just
great.
kept my nerves,
One
and I knew
question.
that like I have been preparing all this while. So in the last day, I can just be a little calm. And I think that helped me.
Super. One question from the audience in the chat is coming as to, did you, what was this? Let me just check. Elaborate more on One is, how many days did you prepare for is one question that is coming. So
Right.
over. You can tell about the first attempt because there's barely any difference in the score. So what was your
Yeah.
preparation?
Yeah. So I think I took around a little less than 2 months. So
Mhm.
I did the course for around, like I took 1 month, a little more than that, to complete the course thoroughly. And then I took 20 to 25 days to do my practicing. And yeah, I think around that much time was what I required.
There's a question from Shraddha, and that is, you can ask Shraddha directly. What was your quant practice like? So I can see if you have the question. And if you have audio access, I guess you can ask directly one or two questions if anyone wants to. Please.
Yeah,
Okay, so let
I
me,
just wanted
yeah,
to
go
ask
ahead, go ahead.
if you could elaborate more on how you practiced quant. Like you said that you were scared in the beginning.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think like my approach to solving quant, I started with the coursework first. The videos, I had started with them, but then I realized that it would be much better to do the basics videos first, because and I think those basic videos really help, especially if you're someone who's been out of touch with math. Because even if like people generally say that, oh, GMAT is class 10th level math, but even though it's class 10th level math, there are concepts, like it really tests your conceptual understanding deep in those
Yeah,
concepts.
yeah, absolutely.
And if you are and if you're not in touch with those concepts, then I think it will be very beneficial for you to revise those concepts deep again. So I think like the basics videos, I was able to do that, touch the fundamentals, and then with the videos, with that foundation, with the videos, it just added on to that, and with the practice, it added on to that more. So I watched the videos, I did the basics. I used to do the basics along with the video of that topic. I used to do the
Right.
pre-work. I completed all of those, and then I came on to 700, 800 questions. And yeah, this was the process that I followed, and it really helped.
All right, all right. And what's the plan now? You must be in a hurry to be applying, right? I mean, this must be the time you're applying, almost there.
Right. Yeah. I'm working on my applications. I'm trying for a deferred MBA, and yeah.
What are your target
See how that
schools?
goes. So I am targeting like 5 schools as of now, which is Columbia, Northwestern, and Harvard, Stanford, Wharton. And
Okay.
although, yeah, it's like, I think a little bit of a high shot that I'm trying to take, but it's fine. I'm giving it a try.
Right. And last question, how much time did you really spend per day in those last 20, 25 days when you would have done the practice? So let's just answer that as well.
Yeah,
Per day, what do you study?
yeah, per day, I think like I was giving at least like I was giving 4 to 5 hours to my
All right.
practice.
In the last 20, 25 days, I can imagine, after finishing the basics part of the course, like
Yeah,
the learning part of it.
yeah, right.
Right. This is fabulous, Riddhiraj, and unfortunate that your 760 score got cancelled. You wouldn't have had to write it again, but still absolutely fabulous, and all the very best for your applications. And I really hope that one of these 5 will surely convert. Northwestern is Kellogg for other people, just trying to explain. And yeah, I mean, why not? Your background is there. You have the score, and I'm very sure applications will come out great. And just share the great news whenever it comes with us. I'm sure one of these 5 will convert for sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. Fingers crossed. Thank you
See
so
ya.
much. Thank you so much for being my mentor along this process. Like, although we didn't meet, you were my teacher, and thank you so much for inviting me here as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Riddhiraj. Thank you. Really, really very happy that something like this could materialize in under 2 months. That too is absolutely immensely creditable. Right. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.